Is it on? Yeah. I don't like it without the music before. I know they can't hear that music, but I mean, that's my music. We're just going to cut it off? That's not nice. That is not nice. What's everybody doing? I don't know. I haven't been here in a week, 2 weeks. What is happening? You're. I don't know what's going on. I swear, I leave. I get sick. It's not like I get sick on purpose, but I was sick. Gone for a week and a half, and you would think that this whole place just falls apart when you're not here. What's going on, beautiful people? We're right back at it. Welcome back to the Kasabian Lavoe Show. This is episode 515. My name is Kasabian Lavoe. I'll be your host with Talent on Loan from God. Today's episode, I named it Kill Tony for that shit that Tony said at that Trump rally today. We'll get into it. Ooh, I didn't put makeup on there, and it's noticeable. I don't know. I feel like there's a huge lag. Let's get into today's show. Why is this not loading? Did I miss something? I know without music, y'all gonna piss me off today. I promise you, bro. Promise you I'm not in the mood for it. Okay. Welcome back. I'm so mad that we can't play music. That was one of the rules and one of the things that we had to go over. They're not going to clear the music, and they keep on flagging the account for it. So no music. I don't make the rules. But welcome back to the show. And is it nothing going to work today? Look, nothing. What's wrong? Adobe crashed. Now my board doesn't work. Going live. We're fucking live. Let's do it live. Let it rock. I don't even get paid for this shit, and I'm still putting it in the shot. Yeah, I'm over it. Welcome back to the Kasabian Lavoe Show, where ChatGPT writes the intro, I do the show, and I'll be your host with Talent on Loan from God. We're live from Las Vegas. Welcome back. It's hot, humid, or something. I don't even know what's going on. But we in here. We got a couple of topics for today. Let's get this show started this evening. Welcome back to the Kasabian Lavoe Show, where we got a packed lineup tonight. So let's dive right into it. First up, Donald Trump made his debut on the Joe Rogan Experience. It was epic. It was what I thought it would be. Let me start there. In what So I'm starting early. In what might have been one of the most talked about interviews since the election season begun. The controversy had it all. The conversation had it all. Strategy, controversy, and a couple of unexpected moments, but nonetheless, it was what I was expecting from a Joe Rogan and Donald Trump interview. So nothing out of the ordinary. Great interview. 23 million views, and they're suppressing it. It's ridiculous how many views that interview is getting. What? Creative Cloud Installer? I know. Is that Adobe? Is there an update for Adobe? Adobe should know better than to start updating at 7 p.m. That's wild. Anyway, next, it's all about the heroic space mission. Now, we talked about the astronauts that were stuck at the space station. NASA wasn't able to save them. NASA said it was going to take over 2 years just to go up there and get them back because the ship that they sent them in had helium leaks. Elon sent the ship to go get them. It took him 4 days or 4 weeks. Was it less than a month? He got him home safely. We'll talk about what Elon Musk has done. And this is something he could add to his resume. Space savior. I'm not even sure what you would call that. It's Elon being Elon until he started jumping on stage with Trump. Then we just didn't respect that. Comedian Tony Hinchcliffe is catching heat for a wild joke about Puerto Rico, stirring up some buzz on the internet. Is it funny or too far? We'll break down the controversy. In pop culture news, Chrisean Rock is back and she's making waves. Not good waves. This wasn't what I expected to see when Chrisean came back on Zeus. But let's talk about what's going on and what's next on the internet's most talked about star. What's next for the internet's most talked about star. And finally, some relief at the pump. Oil prices are starting to go down, but we don't know why. Because there's a bunch of attacks, and we just bought 30 million barrels from our emergency reserve, which is it's going to keep prices down, but how long? Either way, let's stick around. Let's get into it. Tonight's show will be something. It's just so weird without music. Like, I almost don't care that they flag it for the no music thing, but God, just sets a precedent. So let's just jump right into Tony Hinchcliffe. Pause. Since COVID, comedians have made a lot of money. More money than they've ever made. It used to be very few comedians, and according to Joe Rogan, there's only 250 comedians in the whole world. So that means that everybody else that's a wannabe, that's a very high wannabe number, by the way, if you think about it, because if only 250 are comedians, then what are the rest of the people that try it? Either way, this is amazing that Adobe is doing this bullshit right now. I would like everybody at Adobe to know that they can suck a fucking dick. This is not even a joke. It's the middle of my show and y'all want to do updates. No, please turn on the whole Creative Cloud, Adobe. Tony Hinchcliffe is a comedian, a great comedian. I think Tony Hinchcliffe is hilarious. I love what he's done with Kill Tony. It shows that if you work hard, things work out for you and they grow and grow and grow as long as you feed them and you have something going. Does that mean that Tony Hinchcliffe is the person that I'm going to go to for... I don't know what people were expecting from Tony Hinchcliffe. His joke was shitty. Terrible fucking joke. Horrible way to start it. It wasn't even funny. I don't understand what the fucking punchline was to say that there's a heap of trash floating in the middle of the ocean and it's called Puerto Rico. Fuck you. It wasn't funny. That shit was ass. You should get talked about. Like, dead ass. Nobody cared. Like that. My thing was, honestly, where was the punch? It just wasn't good. You apologized because you were in front of a crowd that wasn't yours. You knew you overstepped. You can't go to New York City, the home of most of the Puerto Ricans in fucking America, and sit there and make a joke in that fashion when it just wasn't a joke. It was distasteful, and I don't appreciate it. I think you're a better comic than that. It's funny to roast, and it's funny to make, light of situations and certain situations. Unfortunately, that wasn't a joke. It just wasn't funny. So do I base Tony Hinchcliffe's shitty stand-up set this afternoon on everything that Trump is going to do? No, I don't. I can't even sit there and imagine basing my decision for president-elect on this bullshit. Tony Hinchcliffe, I think he's not going to admit it. This shit was ass. I'm standing on that. I don't appreciate it. Don't really care for... Again, what was the punch? All he did was apologize because it was a shitty fucking whatever it was. It wasn't a joke. So no, Tony Hinchcliffe isn't funny. Comedians are not fucking great philosophers. You're just comedians. Some of you have really good stories, but you're just a little bit of makeup and a couple of balls away from being a clown. So keep it up. I mean, we dig it. Again, love Tony, love kill Tony. Don't appreciate what you did. And that's cool, dog. You took a swing, you missed, shit was ass. Let's get into the news. Recently, 2 astronauts were stuck in space. These two astronauts were from America. Now, when NASA sent these two up into the International Space Center, they went with a ship that might have had helium leaks. Now, when they made it, they realized that those leaks wouldn't allow them to make it back home, leaving them basically helpless until they had to do what they were under the impression that would have fixed it, which was a spacewalk exhibition to touch up the holes, I guess, or patch up the holes. They couldn't do it. It failed. So SpaceX recently launched the rescue mission to bring the 2 stranded astronauts back from the International Space Center. The NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams had I don't want to talk about it. Had initially planned to return to Earth in June aboard the Boeing Starliner capsule. Boeing, the same people that had the plane with the door that flew off. The airplane with the door that flew off. That Boeing. They can't even make space capsules anymore. Who do we trust? But technical malfunctions with the spacecraft left them stuck at the ISS, the International Space Center. My nose itches. The delay includes issues with helium leaks and thrust problems, forcing the astronauts an extended stay. It was an extended stay. Last that we heard, they would be there for about 2 years. They weren't alone. They're in the International Space Center. There's food, there's people, there's things available. But that was crazy. To resolve this, SpaceX launched the Dragon capsule on September 28th, 2024 from Cape Canaveral, Florida. The mission included NASA's Nick Hag, I'm going to say Nick, and Russian cosmonaut Alexander with 2 empty seats reserved for Wilmore and Williams to use for their return. However, the rescued astronauts will remain at the Space Center until early 2025 to coordinate with other scheduled missions and scientific experiments. The mission exemplifies how collaborating between agencies like NASA and private companies like SpaceX can solve critical challenges in human spaceflight. The story offers a perfect hook to, it's a great a story of, I guess, just know-how, because he didn't have to send up that ship, and then for them to kind of bogart and say, nah, we don't need him, that's ridiculous. Either way, Elon did something special. They did send up some astronauts to save some astronauts, but we're not going to use it, but we do know that it's a possibility. I was just impressed at the idea that he was able to do that. So Trump was recently on the Joe Rogan Experience, and it was kind of what I thought it would be. Wasn't blown away. It was basically what I expected. Donald Trump recently made his first appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience. He wrote some stuff, marking a significant moment to the lead up in the 2024 presidential election. During the conversation, Trump discussed various politics strategies and reflected on the past challenges. My biggest reason for even listening is just to see what new information Rogan might have got from him, or maybe more understanding. Rogan is very good at dissecting a specific piece of information and then getting as much clarity as possible. The interview was framed as an outreach to Rogan's predominantly young male audience, aligning with Trump's push to solidify support among this demographic. Rogan is more of a libertarian centrist. I know people think Rogan is a conservative or an extreme alt-right guy, but he's really not. Like most people, I think we're most fiscally conservative, and then we're just, everybody just live your life and don't bother me. Small government, rights for all, and opportunity. Interestingly, though, for some reason, I don't know if it's because he's wealthy or maybe his rhetoric sometimes, but yeah, it does sound like he leans more towards conservatives and rights. I don't really see it, though, because he always speaks to, like, libertarians anyway. For example, Tulsi Gabbard is still his number one. Like, that's a fact. Joe Rogan loves Tulsi. He thinks that she's amazing, and that's who he would stand by. Interestingly, this appearance came after some prior tension between the two, as Rogan had expressed support for RFK, which RFK is now working with Trump. So Although RFK was a great candidate, I think he's better with Trump at this moment. I want to know what's coming in the future. I know people get mad at me because I support Trump, but like I've said before, I saw the 8 years with Trump. I don't know what's next, and that's what worries me. So I'm hoping to see some great leadership moving forward. However, RFK Jr.'s latest endorsement on Trump after ending his own campaign eased the friction between Rogan and Trump. I don't think it was that. I think Trump and Rogan honestly came together just based on, look at Kamala's track history right now with these interviews. I don't see nothing coming out of her but racial bias and a bunch of identity politics, and it's pretty fucking sad. The discussion highlighted Trump's campaign strategies, personal reflections, and his attempt to I got it. Susan said that we're going to change the words again because I'm trying to read bigger words because I can, and I just fuck up. Trump's attempt to resonate with Rogan's libertarian leaning listeners may have worked. 23 million views. That's crazy. I don't know if it's the most views in YouTube or YouTube history, but right now it's popping. It's going crazy. What do y'all think? What's going on? Kamala Harris completely lost me when she said she had a bill that was called like something to support black men economy or some shit. I'm not black. I'm Puerto Rican. My kids are Puerto Rican. They're mixed. So I have myself and 2 adult sons that are working. We're not black men in America. We're Puerto Rican. What is your plan for us? What's your plan for anybody? Because all the shit you say, 1, makes it sound like you're not in the office. 2, it makes it sound like you're completely disconnected. And 3, if you just gave me a little bit of policy and shut the fuck up. Please just tell me what you want to do. Because if it's more of the last 4 years, then it's nothing. And you need to admit that. And that's the reason why the campaign is struggling so much. I don't give a fuck if Beyonce came out and scissored with fucking Michelle. It don't matter. Nothing is happening. They keep on saying these weird things like, oh, I can't believe we're able to vote for a woman and it's America. And who gives a shit? If she was the woman to vote for, we could all be proud. But do you realize that the only people that say these things about her are the people that are getting paid by her or those that don't comprehend what's really going on? I don't like to get into the politics of the racial politics because I feel like that's pointless and biased as shit. And I'm not going to play the who's got it worse, Puerto Ricans or blacks in America. That's not a thing. I'm not here for that. The Hispanics that have come to America have done very great. Immigrants and all, because I grew up around a bunch of people without their papers that are homeowners, business owners, and live an amazing life. 1 in 2 Spanish or Hispanic people in America own a home. 1 in 2. So although we might be a minority and although we might get dragged a lot, we do very well in this country. Kamala Harris doesn't understand that. She doesn't speak for my people. And just because Tony Hinchcliffe told a shitty joke today, y'all want to back Kamala Harris? Really think about what that means. It's almost as bad as how Capella Gray was over there sticking his tongue out with 14 dudes on stage rapping in front of a crowd of dudes too. I don't give a shit. Don't tell me that that's because he's Caribbean. Hello? I'm Caribbean. We dance salsa. Have you seen what Puerto Rican dudes look like with makeup? Motherfuckers are beautiful. I'm serious. We're the prettiest people in the world. Stop playing. This election is important. Every election is important. Go out and vote, make your voice heard, and remember that the president doesn't dictate your life, but it definitely helps if regulations are cut and things are moving in your favor. Do better outside. That's all. I had a bunch of light stories for today, but I wasn't able to get into the light stories, so we had to just go right into the craziness. And this is still there? Okay, it's still there. Yeah, we had to get right into the craziness. But I had a story that came out of Zeus. 2 stories that came out of Zeus. I took one out because I didn't really care for it. I can't say I didn't care for it. I just don't have anything to back it up. There was a shootout on the Zeus set. Literal shootout. People got grazed. Somebody got hit. Cars got shot up. But there's nothing. No video. No nothing. Just a bunch of clips on social media. So when that happens, I'll drop it. But Chrisean Rock is back. And not in a good way. Stories at a vibe. Rapper and reality star Chrisean Rock has publicity. Oh, excuse me. What? Shut up, Susan. I'll do it again. I'll start again. 3, 2, 1. Stories at a vibe. rapper Chrisean Rock and reality star has. I don't know if I can say that this is a truth, a made up, or a joke, but I don't know if I don't even know if that's the right word to use. But she's publicly leveled a alleged. This is all alleged. These allegations. That's why it's kind of hard for me to even. I don't want to call it it's first off, this clip that we saw her say what she said came from a super trailer for what's coming. It's hard to digest. The rapper and reality star Chrisean Rock has publicly leveled allegations of molestation against her older sister, Tasiki. Within the super trailer of the Zeus Network's upcoming Baddies Midwest, the mother of one is seen holding her son, with whom she shares with rapper Blueface, and asks her big sister then if she remembers forcing her to perform oral sex on her when Chrisean was 7, making Tasiki 12. We couldn't just cover the shooting. That's alleged. This shit is crazy. Don't want to talk about it. Let's get into cars. I used to buy cars all the time when they were affordable, but lately I've actually become a tuner again because cars are just completely overpriced. I have literally lost all faith in new cars. There's no point in me ever purchasing a new car. I don't have any taste for the new cars unless it's something where I have to go sit down somewhere and like really, go look at it. But I'm cool with what I got. I like technology where it is, and I'm okay with the one new car that I have. Depreciation is something that people forget about. And I promise you, COVID has caused a lot of these problems because people just forgot what was going on. But you can't purchase a vehicle that's over $75,000 over the sticker suggested price and be okay with that. The average car note's almost $1,100. The average person don't make but $2,400 a month. So more than 50% of your money goes towards a vehicle, with car insurance being at an all-time high, payments being at an all-time high. Bro, I just seen a lady buy an Altima with 425 months. 425 months. That's crazy. Bro, there's only 12 months in the year. How many payments are you paying for 400 months? That's insane. It's like a 20-year loan. Cars don't even last but 5 years. And that's if you know how to keep them. If you're in the market for a vehicle, I would recommend purchasing a 2016 to 2020 BMW X5. If you're a family person, that's the car for you. The BMW X5 has a bulletproof engine. As long as you take care of you got to take care of that engine. Oil changes, filters, the basic. If you can't handle it, take it to a shop. Why? Because it's really bulletproof. The truck will last forever. It is a 6 to 7 seater. It has about 700 to 800 horsepower if you soup them. I mean, I've seen them. These are mom vans. Damn it. BMW should not be making rockets like this. The X5 is one of the best SUVs on the road. It's beautiful. You get the crystal lights. Even not a 2050. You got to get the 16. You got to get the B52 engine in it. Supercharger turbo. Either way, you're going to do fine. Don't abuse it. It's a beautiful ride. The interiors are amazing. And as a used car, I've seen them as low as $18,000. I've seen them $25,000. It's an amazing vehicle. Brand new, they're like 120. And that's my point. Wait a couple years and now you can go buy the same thing that the neighbor had or whoever had. Don't go buy Teslas right now, especially new ones. This is a great story from a website that I found, Jalapink. Anyway, do you know Kyle Connor? He's the guy that drives all the electric all the electric vehicles on YouTube. He used to do like cross-country drives from North Carolina to California. It's crazy, right? But he's one of the reasons why I purchased the EV. You have to watch and learn exactly how these cars operate and how they maneuver. It scared the shit out of me to think that I would have an electric car to go take on a long road trip. Still haven't. Probably never will. Don't have it in me. I don't have time for plugging up. And matter of fact, one of the newest vehicles that's very exciting to me is the Ram Charger. The engine that's built inside of the Ram Charger is not a motor per se. It's actually a charging plant where you put gas in it and it just charges the electric motor and the electric batteries as opposed to running a transmission and things of that nature. Transmissions break. These motors that are on the wheels don't have transmissions to worry about in that style of vehicle. This is a big, big change. 2025 is going to be a huge year for cars. So be prepared because older cars are going to tank even further. If you didn't know. Kyle Connor's 2022 Model S Plaid cost a whopping $140,000. That $140,000 for a Tesla Plaid Model S. After options, and he got all the bells and whistles. He maxed it out. That's the vehicle that he purchased. Satisfied with his car, he bought it. Since the car was delivered to him, he has driven it an impressive 37,191 miles. And after a recent tweet from Kyle shows, he's trying to trade his Tesla in, and the car barely, and it won't even hit 50. But his car barely made back $46,400. In 2 years, his car has lost $94,500 in value. Basically, it depreciated at about $2.50 a mile. That's horrible. It's not a good investment. My Tesla cost $20,000 used, and it only had 30,000 miles, a little bit less than this car. Charges the same, goes fast as shit. New tires is the only thing I've had to buy. Can't complain. I love it. Would I buy a Model S for $140,000? Nah. Am I going to buy the truck for $100,000? Nah. But I'm going to buy the truck when it goes back down to 60 or 50, when it's worth it. Am I going to buy a Plaid? Maybe. At 40, like this guy's now. You see, there was cars that were going for 100 over sticker. You remember when the Range Rover was going 100 over sticker? Why are y'all spending that much money on a car that's going to depreciate? There was never no world where cars were worth $500,000. Outside of Bugattis, McLarens, and Paganis, there's very few cars in this world that I was going to spend anywhere over $100,000. Even like S-Classes and Maybachs, I get it. But I don't live in California, so I don't even need a Maybach. We don't have traffic like that. I'm in my car for tops of 20 minutes at best. So I have enough luxury that I need. I have enough infotainment screens in my cars. I'm good. To spend $150,000 on a vehicle that you love and for it to lose $100,000, more than $100,000, let's say $110,000 in value, that's sickening. That's money some people don't even make in 4 or 5 years, let alone 2 years to lose it. Teslas are practically not the only EV that's taking a hard hit, but Teslas are literally like always front street when they want to show how bad it is. But in reality, all EVs are taking huge hits. There's really nothing that sustains or maintains their value. Look at what the Polestar. They're going under, or is it Polestar? What's the name of the brand? Volvo owns them, and Volvo's bringing out like an old brand that's basically identical to what that brand is just to get rid of them because it's a loss. EVs are not making money because they're over fucking priced. I still thought, even when they were only 20 and 35, I was like, I don't know, maybe they should be 13, 15 just because of what they are, but nobody listened to me. They made it up to $150,000. They weren't worth $150,000. They never were. Teslas are particularly harder hit by depreciation for a number of reasons. Among these is that Tesla continues to drop the prices of its cars to help drive sales in futile attempts to meet quarterly goals. The Model S Plaid has fallen just under $89,000. $89,000 for a brand new one. And 2 years ago, he spent $140,000. Connor purchased his when Connor purchased his, for example, he said, I get mad when I buy a pair of jeans for $50 and I see them on sale for $45. I am beyond irritated and beyond pissed that I bought this new car and it has depreciated 26% in 1 year. The used car values of Teslas are tanking because, in part, fewer people give a shit about EVs. They're expensive, so they avoid them. They don't understand them. Not everywhere they're as friendly as they are here in Vegas. Between Tesla's CEO Elon Musk's why did they put that in there? Between between Tesla's CEO Elon Musk's descent into 1930s German-style fascism, his continued lies and extreme weird divorce guy energy, He's just not someone a lot of people want to be associated with in 2024. I don't know what that's got to do with your car tanking and prices. Look, Kyle has a dope car. Kyle has a dope channel. Go check out Kyle Connor's channel. Now, if Elon is doing all this stuff and this is why people don't want to buy cars because of who he is as a person, sure, that might be a reason. Or you bought a car that was $75,000 too much than what it was. That's the truth. You just eat some shit and then you have to convince everybody else at why you ate that shit. We knew it wasn't worth $150 when you bought it. Anyway, don't buy a Tesla at $150. Don't buy any car $100,000 over the sticker expecting to get that back. That's just a flex for you, not for anyone else. A real millionaire, they're not buying a new car for the flex. They're going to buy a used car that's already depreciated and worth what it's really worth. Your Tesla was never worth $140. The Model Plaid S is probably a $55,000 car. I don't care how fast it is. It's very basic. The Model S is a $50,000 car. Brand new. 65 upgraded, but it's a $50,000 car. Tesla doesn't make anything over $50K. The truck is not a $100,000 truck. It's a $60,000 truck at best, but that's it. The Model 3, that shouldn't be over 20. Those cars, I think they're just badly priced again due to COVID. Listen, we're not using smaller words. I don't care what Susan says. We're going to keep on using big words, and I don't give a shit. I had a sinus infection last week. My nose is running now, but my face was like this big, and if you didn't know, apparently sinus infections are going around like crazy. And no, I don't do stuff like that. I have asthma, but my face was really swollen, and I had like sounds coming out of my ears and my nose going. Take your medicine, drink your water, drink your green juice. My name is Kasabian. Live in the moment, don't live in the past. Be safe, stay dangerous. Lavoe loves you. It said no music. I don't care. I'm going to keep doing music. Oh, God. Hey. My little cousin heard the